like the idea of canceling someone because it insinuates that people can't change. It insinuates that a person is always gonna be bad if they do something bad. So it kind of views a person as being static and like unchangeable. I just find that people are really quick to like just cancel people and be like, yeah, like the whole essence of this person is bad. You like give them a chance to change. Hey guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're already subscribed. I make psychology and philosophy inspired videos, kind of like life improvement stuff, as well as I like to document my pole dancing journey. So if you're interested in that, feel free to subscribe. In today's video, I want to talk about a topic that's really prevalent right now in the YouTube community, more specifically in the beauty community, but I feel like it's really like had an impact on the YouTube community as a whole, and that is essentially the topic of cancel culture. This video is not gonna be, it's not really structured. It's more like coffee talk where I just like say what I think about the situation. Sorry, I just had to turn the viewfinder around because I can't help staring at myself. So yeah, I have a few notes. I don't even really know what I'm gonna say, but I have a general idea about what I'm gonna say. So basically, if you don't know what cancel culture is basically, at least how I know it, is basically like a person, especially in like social media or YouTube, they make a mistake or something's exposed about them that's bad, or like some event happens to the point where people like don't like them, and like the person's canceled because the person is like did this thing, it was a horrible thing, and therefore they're a horrible person and they shouldn't be followed, they shouldn't have followers. And what's happened now in the beauty community, I don't know if I'm not gonna recap all that happened because it's like a long story. Basically there's these two beauty gurus or whatever, James Charles and Tati. They're having like, I guess, beef or whatever, and James Charles is losing like a bunch of subscribers and Tati is gaining a bunch. So like James Charles is basically canceled, partly because Tati, it's just recap quickly. Tati is this beauty guru who basically mentored James Charles and like helped him, supported him, promoted his like codes to like buy things so that he would get money from it, and just helped him basically gain success in YouTube. And then she has a hair gummy company and she is offered to like sponsor him basically, and so he could promote her hair gummy company thing. And he ended up promoting this other company, which was really hurtful for her because it felt like a stab in the back because she's been like helping him for so long and stuff like that, and then he basically betrays her. I'd encourage you guys to look into this yourself because I'm just explaining it really quickly. And then also there's been leaked DMs and texts and stuff like that because this James Charles guy is gay, and there's accusations that he's a sexual predator because he like basically tries to convince people that are straight that they're gay, so that like because he wants to get with straight guys because that's like his thing or whatever. And yeah, so that's the whole thing. And so he's lost like 3 million, maybe even 4 million subscribers. I'm gonna look at it right now. I'm actually kind of scared to make this video because I don't exactly know what my opinion is yet, and also I don't know, it's so controversial, especially what's going on. Okay, I'm gonna see how many subscribers he has now. I think he started at 16 million something. Yeah, now it says 13 million. So he's lost a bunch of subscribers. And Tati, I think, has gained like 5 million. Like, it's crazy. She's at 10 million now. Anyways, and so basically James Charles is canceled, but I want to generally talk about canceled culture, but also I might dip upon the James Charles situation. Another example of cancel culture, probably most of you guys know who Logan Paul is, who made the like the suicide forest video. He got a lot of backlash for it, which is, you know, warranted backlash. Okay, so I guess I gotta start. Cancel culture, the thing I don't like about cancel culture is that it doesn't allow for people to make mistakes. It insinuates that a person is always gonna be bad if they do something bad. So it kind of views a person as being static and like unchangeable, and it also promotes a lot of hate. I think that James Charles, for example, the James Charles situation, how he's acting and how he's like convincing people that aren't straight that they're gay is wrong, and he should see consequences for it. He definitely has to change his behavior because that is sexual predatory behavior, and I think that some of it's warranted, maybe not to the extent that it is, but I don't like the idea of canceling someone, like saying that like they don't like. I don't like the idea of canceling someone because it insinuates that people can't change, and a lot of people with cancel culture will cancel someone and they won't like them ever again, and they won't see past mistakes that they've made. Like, for example, with the James Charles Charles thing, it is likely that he could change and he could realize, well, actually this isn't correct behavior, and you know, I'm totally against the behavior that he is doing, like the sexual predatory stuff, but I don't think someone should be like entirely cancelled and shunned from society. I think that people should say, yes, that's wrong. I think Tati actually came out with a video where she said that her intent wasn't to spread all this hate, because there's all this hate now towards him, and I feel like what can happen in that situation is actually that the person might just retaliate and not change, maybe. I feel like, okay, I should look at my notes. So yeah, I feel like it should be more I feel like cancel culture really perpetuates hate, whereas it should rather be constructive criticism and people pointing out people having done something wrong, but not entirely canceling the person, because like I said, it insinuates that a person can't change and that a person is static, and that if a person makes a certain mistake, that person is inherently bad. For example, actually, I want to comment on the Logan Paul situation with the suicide forest thing. He's explaining himself that basically, and I think everyone could probably see this, that he basically was just driven so much by like success, and like he was doing like a bunch of crazy shit, and a lot of the stuff he did, you know, was for views and stuff, so he's almost like driven by money and fame and success to the point where he doesn't know what's right or wrong anymore. And I think that people need to be more understanding about the impact like fame and success can have. And I would say I've seen a change in Logan Paul, but that's not to say that what he did wasn't wrong. Like, it was definitely wrong. He shouldn't have done that. But that doesn't mean that the essence of that person is bad because they made that mistake that was probably influenced by several different factors. Hey guys, so I'm just editing the vlog right now, and I realized I forgot to kind of mention that to bring in some psychology. Social psychology looks at the impact of the environment on and situational factors on a person's behavior. And I think I remember learning about this fallacy. I'd have to maybe check up on it, but there's a fallacy in human reasoning where we attribute a lot of the time a person's behavior to them being essentially like that, whereas that might actually have been perpetuated by situational factors. So I just wanted to add that in right there. Update, I actually just dug back into my social psychology notes because I actually keep my notes from my school, and usually I don't have use for them, and I'm thinking of throwing them out, but turns out I have use for them now. But I found out that the concept actually is called the fundamental attribution error, and I have it written down in my notes. And the definition is the tendency of people to overestimate the extent to which people's behavior stems from internal dispositional factors and to underestimate the role of situational factors. So basically in human psychology, there's a tendency for us to overestimate the role of like the fact that things are dispositional rather than attributing them to the actual situation and the environment, probably because if a person actually does turn out to be dangerous, you know, and they may be exhibiting a certain behavior that might be bad or dangerous, it's better to be safe than sorry, basically. And so we'd rather overestimate someone being bad than underestimate them, because if we underestimate them like evolutionarily, we're more at risk for getting harmed. But this can hurt us in social situations where someone might actually just be influenced by the situation and the environment to act a certain way. It's just interesting to look at this social psychology concept in the context of cancel culture and attributing people's mistakes and certain behaviors people have exhibited to their whole being, and attributing it, you know, to, like it said in the definition, to dispositional factors. So I don't know, it's kind of interesting. I wish that I would have thought about this concept before I even made this video, but I just thought I'd include this in here as an extra. Maybe I'll talk more about this some other time. Yeah. I actually did watch this video. I'm gonna see if I find the exact video I was watching so I can reference it, but a video about cancel culture where the guy said basically try to hold the same standards for people you see online as you do for your friends. So your friend might make a mistake or might have a certain behavior, and you're not gonna necessarily entirely cancel the person if it's like one mistake or one behavior kind of a thing. Instead of it being like a very hateful thing, the whole cancel culture thing, it could have a deeper message in the sense that people should see consequences for their actions, but then also take responsibility for the behavior and change the behavior, rather than just being like, okay, you're canceled, okay, bye, like I'm gonna put you in the garbage over here, like, and you're just this monster, basically. I think it's a very toxic attitude to have. And yeah, I think the main point I want to make is that we should be focusing more on them having to take responsibility for their actions and changing, rather than, okay, you're canceled, I'm unsubscribing, like, you're not a worthy human being, you're not a human being that can change. I hope this made sense. Also, some of the underlying thing with this is people forget that there's a human behind these things, like there's someone actually being affected by this, in the sense that people forget that people online are human, that they make mistakes, and that they can't change. Like I've said a million times, I feel like I'm repeating myself. This wasn't structured, this is just me babbling. But people forget that there's actually a human behind it, and like if you think of it, what if your life was broadcasted to the whole world? I'm sure there's shit you've done and said that, one, also not saying these things, these controversies, these like scandals are taken out of context, but there are things that you've probably done that either can be taken out of context and twisted, or that are true, but that maybe, sometimes people will bring things up from the past with, YouTubers and social influencers, and then they'll be canceled because of something they did in the past. And it doesn't acknowledge the fact that most people do shitty shit sometimes. And if that was recorded and blasted on the internet, then I don't know, I feel like everyone does shitty shit, and like people should leave more room for change. And there should be a happy balance, I think, between canceling someone or like semi-canceling someone and then leaving room for change. And like I said, like treat them as you would a friend. Like be like, bro, that's not cool, but like you have to change. And if you don't change after this, then maybe I'll cancel you. Like, give them a chance to change. I just find that people are really quick to, like, just cancel people and be like, yeah, like, this person, the whole essence of this person is bad. Whereas things they've done might be bad, but there might be reasons we don't know as to why they do that. And they might never have been told that that's wrong. And so they need someone to tell them that it's wrong. And so it's good in the sense that, like with the James Charles situation, that we put our foot down, like the whole community has put our foot down and said, that's sexually predatory behavior and you shouldn't do that. But I think that we need to focus on making him change his behavior rather than canceling him. Because imagine if he got completely canceled, everyone unsubscribed to him, then it's like, I don't know, he could just keep going and doing that sexual predatory behavior, whereas people didn't all unsubscribe to him. Perhaps he'd have more pressure to change. I don't know. I feel like this is so controversial and I might get some hate on this, but I just don't like putting people in boxes of this person's bad and like their whole essence, the whole being is bad. I feel like it's, what's it called? Is it a straw man? I think it's a straw man, where you like take one aspect of a person and then that person's just bad. Let's see. No, it's not a straw man. I thought it was straw man, but I guess not. That's not the fallacy. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just babbling at this point. But I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. I'm not saying these behaviors that these people, like the scandals, usually are like, there's a reason why they're scandals, because the behaviors are usually wrong. But I think that we should treat each other more as people and humans. Okay, mind you, if a person keeps repeating these kinds of behaviors, sure, cancel them, don't subscribe to them, like, because at that point it's like we can't help them. But I don't like the whole like putting them in the bad box and like, like almost like overly shaming them to the point where they like can go down a downward spiral and just become more toxic to themselves and others. So yeah, I guess like if by chance you are someone in YouTube that's been cancelled watching this, or been cancelled watching this, realize that there's a reason why people are making uproar and that there's a scandal and they're cancelling you, and fucking change. Take it as an opportunity to change and make yourself better, and realize that yeah, it was wrong what you did probably if there's a scandal. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm just too empathetic, and sometimes I can be kind of like, I have people call me naive, and I don't know, maybe that's true. Maybe I should be more like, cut people off or cut people out of my life or something. I like to see the human in people, and I like to see that people can change. The thing with sexual predatory behavior though is that it's like, it's usually really hard to change. Like, it's usually, I don't know, I feel like, yeah, I don't know, that's a whole other topic. But my main point is just that like, humans are humans, people make mistakes, and they should be given an opportunity to change. And if that behavior keeps repeating itself over and over and over again, sure, cancel them. But like, I don't like how quick people are to cancel people. So yeah, I'm gonna link some of the videos down below of this whole scandal thing. I like the video Tati just recently posted where I don't know what it's called, but it's one where she basically says she never wanted all of this to happen. She just wants him to change his behavior, kind of a thing, which is the approach I like. Yeah, I hope you guys like this video. I hope it makes sense. I hope I don't get any hate, but I mean, I can't really avoid that, especially on such a controversial topic. I'm kind of putting myself out there. I don't want to be an enabler. That's the thing. I feel like I'm being an enabler, like, or people think I'm being an enabler, letting people behave that like certain ways, but it's like, no, I am not okay with certain behavior. I want to see people change, and get better, you know, no matter how bad someone is. That's a whole other topic I want to talk about, monster-sizing people. I want to talk about that maybe in another video. But yeah, I hope you guys like this video. If you guys want to follow me on social media, my Instagram and Snapchat is at MaryChristina. I actually have Twitter too, but I don't really use it, but that's at MaryChristina too. Let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see in the future. I love taking you guys' advice. Other than that, have a nice day. Bye.